Mike, I got a question for you, bro.
What's up, man?
49ers just completed their second day of OTAs. And from what I heard, what I read, and what I saw, we had some savvy veterans out of there. So my question to you and you, would there be a brand new mindset from the leaders of the new school?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There has to be. And we're going to talk about all of that on this episode. Let's get it, man.
What's going on, everybody? It's your host of the B.A.M show. We touching down right now. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody out there. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this episode. My brother Mike Andrews, nothing but Niners, in the freaking building. Mike, what's going on, bro? And make sure you look below in that ticker and you subscribe to both channels. Let's do it, Mike. What's good?
Yeah, man. You know, I'm out here just chilling. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Gonna be a good one, man. So got my bowling league starts tonight, man. I'm excited. So
so the league. Oh.
The last one ended. We finished in fourth place. My team finished in fourth.
Hold up. I know you might not like fourth, but fourth is cool.
Nah, it's cool. It paid me. I got paid for it. I got a couple $100 back out of that joint, so it's cool with me. And now the summer league about to start. It kicks off tonight, so I'm excited about that, man. New beginnings.
All right. And how long does the summer league typically last?
Yo, I don't know, man. All I know is they don't give us no breaks in between.
Because the summer ain't until June 21st or something, man. We in the month of May. And it's like,
I think it went to like November last time or something like that. I think it went all the way to November.
That's a long summer. Golly, you be in the middle of the football season, beginning of football season.
Yeah, they were like, oh, you want to do a Sunday league? No, football. No. What about Monday? No, football.
Absolutely not. How about Thursday?
Thursdays? No. Sorry, football. Sorry, I'll be pissing them off. And
what about Friday? What about those special days? There's going to be a Wednesday game. There's going to be a Friday game. No?
Oh, sorry. No. Can't do it. Wednesday is all y'all getting from me. Right in the middle of the week. Right there, right in the middle.
All right. I like that. Everybody, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Shout out to all the Breezie Bunch crew members out there. Truly appreciate it. Listen, man, if this is your first time seeing this episode, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. All right, hit that like button, because the like button will do a couple of things. It's going to let YouTube know that, hey, this is a show you want to watch. Also, make sure you comment and hashtag the BB or the NBN inside of the chat, because that'll help as well with the algorithm. We all about beating out the computer. Mike, whenever I think about beating out the computer, what's the first movie that comes to mind when you think of computers taking over? I want to see if we on the same page. I want to see if we can Makimata, like whatever, make it great now.
I doubt we're going to be on the same page.
I think we could go
with Terminator.
Motherfreaker! Terminator 2, to be exact. Let's go!
I didn't think we was gonna get there on that one. Let's go,
Mike. How did you know, bro? Yo, and that was an official Breezie reaction, because I get extra excited and I hit a different decibel when it's in sync. You know what I mean, Mike?
I do. I didn't think we were going there with that one, man.
Bro,
That's
the way them robots took over in that series had me thinking that it was gonna be like that, that. Right now, because that was back in the 90s, and it is like that now, because AI creating everything.
AI is doing everything right now, bro.
I gotta ask you this question.
Your eyes.
I don't think I've ever asked you this question before, because I don't think we ever had this conversation before. If the Terminator 2, I don't know what you want to call them. We were talking about X-Men yesterday, so those are Sentinels. But if the Terminator 2 cyborg robots appeared, like, what would you do? Like
me?
Yeah, like what would be your reaction if you saw real life robots in the metal form, not the because
I'm moving into a water tower and getting as many magnets as I possibly can.
Can I come? Can I bring the fam? Because that's smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't mean like that. Pause. All right. I wasn't even gonna hit you with the pause till you said wow, then I heard myself say what I just said.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say wow either. Just came out. I was trying not to say pause because I'm trying to mature a little bit, but I can't help it.
I don't
The
think
wow just came.
there's no point in
Wow.
maturing. There's no point. Mike, we got a dope show for everybody out there. The 49er faithful to be exact. OTAs kicked off. We had some reports from the camp. We got a chance to watch some videos. What's one of the things that impressed you so far from OTAs?
Actually, I'm more impressed with the pressers. You know, the highlights and the little videos and all that stuff. That's all cool. They run around in shorts. I get all that stuff. But listen to the mindset of Brock Purdy and even Ji'Ayir Brown. Right, listen to how much further he's come. He was like, you know, there was really not much of an off season. You spent all the time preparing for the Senior Bowl and then the Combine. And you're going around doing these meetings and all that stuff, and you finally get in here. He was like, that was the longest season of my life, like ever. You know, he was like, now I feel better. He was like, and I'm not where I want to be. I'm still getting my body back from that long season. I'm still getting my body back. He was like, but mentally, I'm more prepared and everything is going to be a way better year for me this year. Like, I liked hearing that. And then Brock Purdy echoed some very similar sentiments. You know, his real offseason now going to be going through everything as the dog, as the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no more saying what's lingering and all that stuff. Those guys got me excited for where the team thinks they could be, working on timing and rhythm. You know, they talked about Brock Purdy even getting passes out to guys like Cowing and guys like Pearsall, right? Like, you know, just got to work with whoever I got here. Brock Purdy was like, yeah, I was a little nervous. We drafted a wide receiver in the first round, but, you know, I got to throw to whoever's here. I'm happy my boys are still here, and you know, but I got to throw to whoever's here. So that was really cool to me. I like the pressers more than I like anything else that I saw.
I like that you point out the pressers. I'll get to some of the practice clips that we were able to watch because I think it was important, because if you're talking about drafting Ricky Pearsall in the first round with the first round draft pick, I think it was cool to hear the report that he had some really good catches and he ran really good routes. And from the last time, we heard or we got a report about him at the rookie minicamp, you know, he ran good routes, but he had 0 catches, right? And so you can see there's a big difference, I think, in my opinion, when you got, I don't know if this alludes to how great Brock Purdy is, but Brock Purdy can throw to anybody. You just got to run your route. And that tells you the difference between Brock Purdy and possibly the other quarterbacks on the roster, especially the ones that were at the rookie minicamp. This is like night and day, right? So I'm sure Pearsall, I'm sure Jacob Cowing and some of those young guys that were out there were a little happy.
What was his name? It was something like, damn, what was my man's name? It was like McCuthid or McIntosh or something. What was the quarterback's name? The unsigned free
I was trying to remember the other day, and I want to say Tanner something, but I feel like
Tanner. It was Tanner Tanner something. But yeah, him. It ain't looking good for you, bro.
Nah,
already.
bro. I don't even think he makes the second team practice squad, bro. If those passes are that off, I think the 49ers are going in there with their 3 quarterbacks that they have already signed. What is his name? It's not McLaughlin. Tanner Mc.
It's Tanner Mc something. I'm pulling up the team roster right now on my phone.
Okay.
See if it's on here.
Let me see if I could Google it and to see if it'll pop up, because I'm sure I'm typed in. Tanner.
Sorry.
Mordecai. Tanner Mordecai, right?
Mordecai. How do I forget Mordecai? How do I forget Mordecai?
Mordecai.
That was it.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because the pressers I thought were the highlight, because you get to hear the talk. I kind of liked Kyle Shanahan. And I'm okay. First of all, you know I love Kyle, right? And I think I love him because he's an asshole. And I think we can relate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we say things the way you ask the question, prepare for the response to be in the way that you ask it. Does that make sense? It's sarcastic as mother. Where's my buttons? It's sarcastic, right? It's gonna come. So they asked Kyle a bunch of questions, right? And you know, Kyle explained several times about that this is business, and he understands that. And for the players that aren't there, he gets it. He wishes they were here, but he understands it. So at that point, why do you keep asking him? Like, why? Like, if he says he understands it and he already wishes that they could be here, why the second or the third question, Mike? Like, why?
Yeah, I think people just want to be the first one to get him on record saying something about it. And it's weird because
I'm gonna ask you this one more time. I asked you the question, you answered it. 2 questions later, same question, you answered it. 6 questions later,
but it was a different person. It was a different
person, but it was the same question. So are you
but
trying
it was
to
a
catch
different
Kyle
player.
slipping?
They ask about it. Yeah, they ask about different players. They want to see if he's going to show favoritism towards receivers, or is he going to be harder on the receivers?
I felt like the moment he answered the first question, he tried to shut everything down. Like, one was about BA, one was about Christian McCaffrey, and who was the other one about?
Jennings.
Thank you.
There. Jennings wasn't there, yeah. And it's all 3 possible contract guys that are, you know what I'm saying? Like,
is this the end of Christian McCaffrey's contract? This is last year?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Now you got me second guessing myself.
I feel like it is, but I don't think it is. But I feel like it is.
It says here, he signed a 4-year deal for 64. God dang, he got 64 million out of that.
Yeah, remember they restructured.
2026.
Yeah, so it's not even his last year.
Fake year. It's the fake year. 2026.
But next year he's still under contract.
Last year,
yeah. So he has 2 more years this year and next year. Yeah. So that's not a contract situation for Christian McCaffrey.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
So they just wanted to be annoying.
Okay. I thought I'd ask you that question so I could be annoying too. Also, but his response to just some of the things they asked him about the rookie Isaac Guerendo. Larry Krueger was like, and I felt like Larry's been itching because he's been talking about using Isaac Guerendo as a full back, tight end, running back, half back, 2 back, 3 back, 17 back, 49 back. Like he's been, and so he asked Kyle the question, and Kyle was just like, well, he's a running back. Right.
Well, the crazy part is, like, even if, let's just say he does develop it to a fullback, he puts on some weight or something, or, you know what I mean, he becomes a better tight end or whatever. How the freak do you expect me to answer this question after 1 day of seeing him?
2 days.
What, honestly. Okay. How do you expect me to answer this question after 2 days of seeing him?
I only said 2 days because somebody asked Kyle about the cornerbacks and how they progress, and he was like,
depth chart and shit. Like what are we doing? What are we doing, man?
They're itching to get like bro. You can't answer the question and then expect me not to give you the same answer you just answered. They were itching, bro. They need some substance, right? They need something.
They want to be the first ones to say, I got Kyle to say that this is how the depth chart is going to look for the corners. Like, no, I don't know yet.
Kyle said,
I don't know yet.
You know what Kyle's answer was, Mike? He said, they all look good. He said the rookies look good and the veterans look good.
Yeah, the rookies look exactly like the guys we drafted. Like what is he supposed to say, man? What is he supposed to say?
I love it, yo. I love the media. I love the pressers because depending on how you choose to take them, you could break them down a little bit differently. And it's cool when we can come out, like go back and forth, because you could check out full breakdown of the pressers on the Nothing But Niners Patreon channel. So if you're not subscribed, go subscribe to the Nothing But Niners Patreon. All right. So you can get a full breakdown from Mike himself. He is the great analytical breakdown thinker. I call him the Nas of the NFL content creating. He will give you it raw, but find a way to break it down so that only you can understand. So make sure you guys check that out. He's the Nostradamus of this stuff right here. All right. So about the practice, so the wide receivers got some highlights. The cornerbacks got some highlights. I like seeing the defensive line out there. And you how do you say his name? Mos Gratos.
All right. So I was saying Yatur, but that's not how they say
Uter?
it. No. Sorensen said it properly, and I had to rewind. Like, wait, what?
What did he say?
And
that's what I'm asking.
I can't remember. Oh shit, I can't remember how he said it, but it was.
Is it Uter? Like, do you?
Nah, I gotta find.
All right.
Damn,
anyway,
man.
I thought he probably had one of the best days out there. In his drills, Nick Bosa was out there. It was cool. We're gonna talk about that because, as you get that name together and that name prepared, the mini camp's going to be kicking off in a couple of weeks, right? So like the first week of June, second week of June, I can't remember the date off the top of my head, but you're going to get that first camp, and that's mandatory, right? And so for those that are watching the show, right now these are voluntary workouts. These are voluntary sessions. And yes, the coach wishes that his players were out there, but they don't have to be out there. They're not contracted to be out there as of right now. But
Are you stopping for me?
yeah, I thought you had it. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm still looking for it.
Okay, so yeah, so Kyle Shanahan, in my opinion, is just getting his troops ready, and it's cool because next week they kick off phase 3, and you're gonna really start to see them kind of like ramp up a little bit before they go on their little hiatus, their little break. And then after that, Mike, it's training camp in July. So the Niners are going to be full swing. He also talked about the health of players. So let's get to this injury report. We already know kind of like where Dre Greenlaw stands. Travarius Mooney Ward says he should be ready to go by training camp with his injury. And let's talk about the injury, the knee arthritis to Jake Brendel, because that's an interesting one. And I'm curious to know from you, do you think that affects the 49ers? Or how does that affect the 49ers? I guess that's what I'm asking you. How does that injury affect the 49ers?
Yeah, so it's a big deal. And it's going to be a good look. We're going to have some guys that get to tip their hat at the center position early. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be something that benefits them really, really well. The Niners have had a couple of guys that move all over the line, and we want to know who's going to be the guy, who's going to be the guy. It's not that Jake played stellar football, but he didn't play terrible either, right? So we weren't in a rush to go out and get a replacement for him. But now that we know that there is this lingering injury, who's going to be the next person to step up? Is it possibly the rookie who plays all over that offensive line, right? Hopefully not, but we'll see what happens. I think that this is going to pose a great opportunity for other people. So now a guy that you may have had penciled in as a guard might be playing center. So now that other guard position, you're going to get some extra looks, right? The trickle-down effect of popping somebody in there at center. And then there's the backup center. So even if you had Jake here, right, at some point he was going to need some relief. So now center number 2 comes in. Well, now center number 2 ends up being left guard number 2 because he's the next guy. So now you got a different person playing left guard number 2 on the team. This is a really, really good thing when the team gets to test the depth early. I'm excited about that.
I'm excited too because you mentioned, you talked about the new guys, the newbies coming in. This could be a chance, an opportunity for a guy like Corey Luciano. Will he move up into the spot of being getting those first team center reps? Would they slide in John Feliciano to the center position? That would be something interesting to see if they do that. And does that mean that the guard spot, that right guard spot, does that get open to the opportunity of Dominic Pooney, Jarrett Kingston? These are our draft picks. And where does that leave Spencer Burford? And so Yetur.
Sorry.
That's so like Detour.
Sorry.
So Yetur to Detour. Remember that. And if somebody steals that, we see him, we slap him. Because nobody was thinking Detour, Yetur. They're gonna have to take detours when they see Yetur out on the football field. Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Ooh,
Yes,
we probably shouldn't have said that live. We probably shouldn't have said that live. Thumbs up if y'all like that, because we're gonna create something with that. He gets his first sack. We're gonna have Detour, Yetur shirts or something. All right.
Yeah, we detouring that quarterback, baby. Let's go.
I like that. I see you, bro.
Oh man.
Just some things, just the interesting things, man, to take away from, like you said, the pressers. It was good to hear from Kyle. It's good to get that sarcasm back. It was good to hear from Ji'Ayir Brown, Brock Purdy were the two players that spoke. My take from Ji'Ayir Brown is he sounds like he's, year 2, and he doesn't like to be called a vet. He feels like he's still, you know what I'm saying, not considered a veteran in his young career, but he's out there. He's willing to lead by an example, and he's already sounding like a team captain in year 2, Mike.
Why did he say he's not a vet? Tell the people he watched the show, bro. We sat here and you asked just 2 shows ago, Mike, what do you consider a vet? And we said what?
Year
at least
3.
Yes. Come on. That's exactly what we said.
So if people so streets be watching? Streets are watching?
Come on, man. Yes, absolutely.
And streets are also talking. You do know that, right?
Come on.
They talk. Oh, do baby.
Get him. Yeah.
So real talk, like it's cool, right? It's cool. We the thing I love about you and I is that we ain't no script. We don't give a fuck. Like we gonna put out what
real.
we want. And
it's real.
Yeah. But I think that stood out to me the most from him. It just gave me this kid
that leadership. That's exactly what it was, man. You know, he stepping that boom, dropped the bomb on it, right? He's stepping right into it. You know, like look, he was like, it's not something that just happens out here. You know, I'm here to learn. I'm going to learn. And here's the cool thing: when they asked him about that, right? They say, "Are you willing to talk to, what's my man's name? The safety that we just Malik. Right?
Malik.
Are you willing to talk to Malik?
Malik?
He was like,
yeah.
It's funny that you say that. I was just talking to him earlier, and I was telling him don't rush the game and let it come to him, and no one's gonna know everything the first time to get it right. Like that, taking not. I'm not asking to be a leader, but I'm going to impart the knowledge that I have onto those with less.
Remember, we had this conversation about Talanoa Hufanga like a couple of seasons ago.
It was this time last year.
We just be so on point.
What we say?
It was Fred Warner. It was Talanoa Hufanga. I don't. We talked about being leaders and dogs. We did a show called Leaders and Dogs.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And I tried telling y'all that it's not just about how good your stats were from the year before. None of that makes a difference. It's about what you can do. It's imparting the knowledge. That's what makes you a leader. But it's too early to call some people leaders, man.
I disagree because some people can lead by example, and I think that's where my take was from it. And if you don't want to, they're calling him a leader. They're calling him a veteran. And I feel like with certain veterans comes that leadership quick capability. They have that leadership quality. But leaders to me don't need to be designated leaders. They show it, right?
Yeah.
They lead by example. They show it. They have that thing inside of them that just says, another player is going to be, I'm going to follow this guy. I don't know why. They exude it. That's a good point, Mike. You dropping bombs today, bro. You dropping bombs. Yeah. So since we're talking about leaders, there's some leaders out there that are veterans. Brock Purdy counts as a veteran. He's going into year 3, right? You got Deebo Samuel. What year is he entering? Year 6?
6.
Nick Bosa, year 6. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same draft. These are captains too, by the way. These were 2023 captains.
All 3 of them.
All 3 of them. Mike, they were all at OTAs.
Oh, snap.
And I got a question.
Deebo was there and Nick Bosa. That's crazy, right?
Deebo was there wearing number 1. You remember Kyle? They asked Kyle, like, you know, how slim Deebo looked in that number 1.
He said it was risky.
You can't tell me my coach not dope, bro. But you got why it was risky, right?
You don't even see no fat number 1, bro. You stretch that shit out. That's crazy, right?
You can't tell me Kyle don't got a sense of humor, bro. Bro, I bet you
foul for that, bro.
He not foul. He not foul. I bet you that junk flew over. Hold on. I bet you that junk. Let me see if I got the sound. I bet you that junk flew over everybody's head. Kyle's it. You called him an asshole.
Oh man, I said foul. I don't know if I called. He might have been. That was an asshole.
I called him that at the beginning of the show. That's what he is. That's why I love him. You gotta love Kyle, right? He definitely did. Because if Deebo would have showed up a little pudgy, that one, you know what I'm saying? You could get away with it in the 19, but when it's one number and it blow up,
that number 1 be holding on, just stretching shit. I won. It's just one of me over here. That's crazy, man. And Kyle was like, it's a little risky, but you know, he did it. He pulled it off. He looks good out there, right? But like, it's dope that Kyle even had the like mindset, the joke with Deebo about, are you sure you want to? Are you sure you want to do that? Right? Another way to motivate, another way to lead that young man.
I see what you did there.
Come on, man.
So the mindset starts with the head coach. I see what you did there.
Uh-oh.
Here's my thing, right? You could have took. I can give you another way to look at it, and so another way, if you chose to go this route, and it's okay, however you get to where you got to get to, that's cool, as long as you get there, right? I'm gonna give you a different perspective on Kyle Shanahan saying that he was number one, right? So Debo decided to change his number to number one, and usually when you do stuff like that, that means, hey, I'm number one. Like I'm the one. Like I'm the one. Remember that movie, The One by Jet Li? That was a dope movie. And so, did you ever see that movie?
I did.
That
They
movie
had
was
clones,
kinda
right?
dope. We were talking about cyborgs at the beginning of the show. We got to
There it
clones
is.
toward the middle, the end of the
Right
show.
back in it. Come on, man.
So Kyle Shanahan, he could have meant like it's kind of risky switching your number to number one because you got to make sure that you are accountable. You got to make sure that you're out there. You got to make sure that you're healthy. You got to make sure that you're available. So it's risky.
And producing.
And then on top of all of those things, you got to produce. Let's talk about the mindset of these three guys. Brock Purdy going into year 3. Is his mindset a little different going into year 3? What do you think his mindset is?
Yeah, I mean, he even answered as much in his presser. He's focused on getting better. He's like, you can always work on, your arm strength and things like that. And he was like, but the playbook, and diving into it a little bit more. And what I liked about his breakdown of the playbook was, it's not just about, we have these plays that we're good at. It's like, these are plays that we were installing last year. Let's make these part of our regular rotation now, right? So it's going to be a little bit of an update, a little bit of a change up. And then he's got to work on his chemistry with his players. That's the mindset, right? My job is to distribute the ball to whoever is out here. We talked about it when he was saying he was worried about losing Debo or Ayuk, right? That's my job. No matter who is out here, I got to be able to get them the ball in time and in space and however they need it. And so that mindset is like, let's just go get it. Let's get it. Let's get out here and work. This is the time of year to work. We worry about the opponents and all that stuff later. Right now, they don't matter. This is all about us. And that's the current mindset of the quarterback for the 49ers. And you love hearing that.
I love hearing that, Mike. Very spot on, man. Let's get to the mindset of their longest tenured wide receiver, Deebo Samuel.
That's scary. Wow. Just yesterday, he was a rookie. That's crazy. But yeah, 6 years in, the fact that he's showing up, I believe this is his first time.
I swear to goodness it is. I mean, he was probably there his rookie year, but I feel like that doesn't count because you even though I don't think you're contracted to be there your rookie year, but you want to be there.
Right.
This is the time you make a name for yourself. But then after that, he was training on his own.
Right. And then Kyle said as much, both him and Bosa have a deal in there with COVID. People didn't really go the voluntary stuff like that. So, they didn't have that year in there. They missed it. But the fact that Debo was there showing up and working with the guys, and we heard about him working with Pearsall prior to mini camp and all that stuff, the rookie mini camp and everything. And then you hear that he's not just there and showing up and working with the young guys. He's in shape. Debo's, what's the word? It's always been a question with him.
About him coming into camp a little bit unhealthy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not that
It's
he
always
looks
been-
proportionally bad, but little pudgy. Does it slow him down? Like things like that.
Yeah, the stamina's not quite where it should be. I pointed out all year long. Every time he made a play, he was off to the sideline. Like, yo, what are you doing? Like, get back out there. You can't run 3 plays in a row. Like, what's going on with you, bro? Right? And so to hear that he's there and in shape and doing all these things and taking the young first-round pick under his wing already, like going to work with this guy already, that's not the Debo that we used to see. And y'all can say what y'all want to say. Nobody's harder on Debo than me. But this is a different Debo right here. This is a different Tyshawn Samuel.
That's a bomb right there. You dropping bombs on him. And then last but not least, the best defensive player in the NFL.
Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
Nah, man, it's all you, bro. I'm going to sum it all up. I'm going to wrap it all up.
Listen, man, I mean, look, when it comes to Nick Bosa, right, he got paid, got away, he stayed away. That's pretty much what he's done his whole career. He's got his own routine. He works with his brother, his pops. They have the facilities and all that stuff. But Nick is here right now. He's here. This tells me more than anything, I'm disappointed in my performance from last year. It wasn't a terrible year either, but it just wasn't my standard, right? And, this is how I know that you can lead without being a talker, because Nick's not that. He's not a verbal guy, right? They even had him doing a little schedule thing. He's like, that's what I sound like, right? Making fun of the Steph Sanchez imitation thing, right? But that's how much of a talker he's not, okay? But when Brock Purdy goes to the podium and talks about seeing Nick Bosa out there getting after it, he said that just lets the rest of us know if he's out here doing it, highest paid player on the team, right? Premier player, the only player that John and Kyle have said is not available for trade. They said we're available for trade. Y'all can't get him though, right? The fact that he's out here getting after it and working as hard as he is just lets the rest of us know. This is what Brock Purdy is saying. Just lets the rest of us know that we have to be on the same page. We got to come out here and get after it too. Leading by example.
Another bomb. And like when you take these three guys, you take these three captains, you take these three leaders, all different types of leaders. Mike just broke it down. 3 types of leaders, 3 different ways. Some lead by example, some are vocal. And when you look at Brock Purdy, man, this is a leader that's still playing with a chip on his shoulder. People might think that Mr. Irrelevant is over with, but it's not. And it's never going to go away. He will always be Mr. Irrelevant. He will always remember that he's that 7th round, last pick of the 7th round draft pick by the San Francisco 49ers. And if that's why he plays the way he plays, if that's what gives Brock Purdy the it factor, then he needs to continue to make sure he never becomes that guy, because that guy may lose that it factor and then you see a different performance from Brock. But Steve Young said it best about this kid. You know what he said about Brock Purdy? He said that he has elite processing and that no game is bigger than any game. Every game is as equally as important to Brock Purdy. It doesn't matter if it's preseason. It doesn't matter if it's the Super Bowl. That's why Brock keeps succeeding. That's why that mentality from Brock, when you get that from your quarterback, when you get that underdog mentality from your quarterback, that's a dangerous thing. And then you look at Deebo Samuel and you say to yourself, oh snap, is this the most, progressive person we've seen grow from boy to man? I feel Emmanuel Sanders status right now for our boy Deebo Samuel. And I'm talking about as far as being the leader in the locker room. And remember when Emmanuel Sanders took Deebo Samuel under his wing? Do you remember that? And now you see Deebo Samuel taking Ricky Pearsall under his wing. This is what leading is all about. You never understand these things until you go through them. And I think Deebo now being he's a father, he's a great father. I love the stuff that he's doing with his son, with Junior out there. Deebo Samuel Sr. is doing a lot of good things, and you can see that even though he's still young, he realizes that he has some young guys up and coming. And it's not about just being better than them. It's about showing them the way and the light and to how to succeed in this NFL, especially in this system. And Deebo be the first person. He's the first person to tell you how complicated this system is. He will sit there and tell you to this day how complicated it is to be a wide receiver in Kyle Shanahan's system. So Kyle Shanahan is going to be winning because now you got, and we all know Deebo's his favorite. Now you got your favorite. If you can talk about that was risky wearing number 1 on national camera, that's how you know that's your favorite. If Kyle Shanahan is comfortable with that and Deebo is comfortable in leading in that way and taking these guys up, that's dope. And the fact that he's showing up lets you know something else. Nick Bosa, I'm just excited. You hit the nail on the head as far as him saying, yo, my standard, it was below. Your standard, I was below. Everybody else's, our standards, I was below. And that's unacceptable. That's where Nick Bosa is. And he talked about being out there for the young guys. So I thought that was kind of cool. And Mike, when you put them all together and you got 3 leaders like this, and I'm not saying they're the only ones, when you got these 3 guys leading out there like this, they got unfinished business, dog. And that's some scary. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know it's complicated. I know it's going to be difficult to get back to where they were last year. But if these guys are out there leading these young men, they got unfinished business. It's not even about standing on business. It's unfinished business.
Yeah. Yep. Right back at you with another one, man. That's how they do. And that's what the Niners are going to be doing this year, man. Wayne, beautiful synopsis there. I like how you summed everything up there. That was great, man. Sometimes at the end of service, you just got to pass. Man, y'all go ahead and give that man a round of applause, man. We ain't going to touch on it. We're going to let the good Lord rest right there, how he did it, right? Like, that's what that was. That was great, man. I like it.
Appreciate it. Hey, Mike, take us home, man. It's a great show. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to both channels. Don't forget to check Mike out on the Patreon. Please support the Patreon, the Nothing But Niners Patreon. It is very fun, and you get to kind of like just watch Mike live in action. I think that's pause, maybe.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, okay. So, Mike, take us home,
Hey,
bro.
Oh, sorry. Live all the time, just kicking it with the fan, bro.
I was going to do it,
It's
but I'm not
Breezie.
going to do it.
I'm Mike,
This
and this is the
is
B.A.M
the B.A.M
show.
show.